You're listening to Elegbete TV and Radio. You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Night Wheel on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Idafi Matthew. So you love to call me the Elegbete One of Sports. I can guarantee you that the audio, whether on YouTube, on Instagram, on the mobile application, it's not cracking today. We got our engineers to work on it, but then there is the sound that you're hearing on the background. It is raining cats and dog, but it is not raining money. It is just raining cats and dog in the studio. Well, we're on the top building, so we can avoid it. This kind of remind me some years back when I went to Inspiration FM at the Amazing Grace Plaza, and it was a raining day. I was in the building on the show with Tola Shotades, right? And I also did a show with my man Ayotunde Onobolu, and it rained, but then we had fun. Yeah, today we're going to talk about money. Money. The weekend is coming. A lot of people want to bet. A lot of people want to put something on something to make something get into some things. Okay, to make something get a plural sound. Some people want to make money. Hey, Precious Amaruji. Yes, guys, you got to follow Precious Amaruji. Our foundation is doing some great things for students in Edo State. This time around, they are doing the what's it called now, MBC or MB, but something for the girl child anyway. She chatted me about it. She actually gave me full details. Now my brain is not working. And if you feel the need, like you want to support a foundation that is doing something good for young people in school, trying to get them better, I think you should follow her on Instagram, Amoruyi underscore precious dot o, or the Rui Foundation, RUYI Foundation, Rui underscore foundation. Follow them on Instagram, and you would be able to get whatever it is that they are doing. It's MBC conference. Precious, can you please explain to the people out there what MBC conference means? I know, guys, I told you guys that the show making better choices. Okay, so that what MBC conference means. If you know me very well, choices and consequence are the very, very core, the root core of my whole existence. Everywhere I go, every speaking conference I've ever been to, that's at the very, very, very first few lines of my presentation. I think that those words would always work in every place that I go. Every talk, if you call me to come to church and speak, I will use that. I will find a way to coin it and co-opt it into the talk. If you want me to talk about Jesus, talk about devil, talk about God, talk about football, anything, life generally, as far as I'm concerned, is about choices and consequences. Okay, Felix the Great, you're there. Felix the Great, what's the update on Nigerian football, Nigerian league football, and everything? I'll be banking on you to give me updates since you're here on Instagram. So give me as many updates as you can. But then on the show tonight, the Night Wheels, we're going to be talking a whole lot about money. Those who are making it, those who are wasting it, those who are having fun spending it, and those who are struggling with it. Okay. Murray Precious says the MBC conference, which is Making Better Choices conference, is a girl child project. It's an initiative for the girl child to teach them, bring in a whole lot of guest speaker to come and talk to girls in schools in Edo State, to help the girls to make better choices. Don't go to Italy and be selling yourself, or don't go to Libya. Don't go and look for map. Don't make the choice of looking for map and go to Libya through Agadez. Gaddafi is not in Libya again. Oh. Those people in Libya now, I Joe Makikabalike, they are very, very brutal now. They are brutal, rape you, they will scourge you, they will sell you as a slave. The ones that cannot sell you will tie, chain you in um, their houses and abuse you as best as they can. But let's come to football. Yes, the first story that we have to talk about is some fans that are provoking. They are angry, and it is related to Manchester United. So the Manchester people, everybody around Manchester United, are trying to make money out of everybody. The Glazers want the club to be sold for 6 billion. That will be the most expensive club purchase in the history of football club, and there is a whole lot of people around also looking to catch in on people who have little money. Okay, so imagine going for a match. Let's imagine this for a minute. Going for a match and you are asked to pay £7.50, £7.50 for hot dog as you're going for a game. That could be crazy anyway, but then that's the reaction of fans. They call it criminal, they call it evil. You know, there's a way food will be expensive, it will lose its taste. Yeah, there's a way food will be expensive, it will lose its taste. If you've never tried it before, have you ever gone to a restaurant to eat like a good place? Let me give you a good example. In VI, there's a place called Crust and Cream. Okay, I'm not saying they're too expensive, but if your ATM no good, no go there, because they go so beat you. I not far from money camp. They go so beat you. But there is a way you go there, like you not can know. You don't give menu, you just choose maybe the like what I like to eat, the burnt Chinese rice. That's the only place where you eat burnt rice and you enjoy the burnt Chinese rice with steak and probably anything you want to mix with, maybe mashed potato or fries, anything you want to mix, and then with a pina colada or any of the drinks you want to drink. For some people, it's alcohol. You know me, I don't get alcohol level. Now, you eat that thing because it is very sweet, it is tastefully made. You savor it, you don't rush it. You sit down there and spread like Ebola and COVID, embracing each other and getting married. You marinate it in your mouth, you chew it, you squeeze the lime on the steak, and you use your fork and knife and you cut it. Some people say it's fake, it's not fake, it's for FORK, fuck, as my daughter would say, it's fuck. It's fake. Okay, you cut it and then you chew it, beats and beats and beats and beats. And when you're done, the waiter won his favor. There's a boy whose name is Lawrence. There's one girl whose name is Kemi. I go there a lot, I know all these people. And then they come with that list, that thing. When they come with it, you know you are in for it. Go and ask Siko. When I took Siko and my wife there, and we sat down there, we're eating, and I said to them, if my ATM no work here today, you Siko, will you big like a fat Aquaman? So now you that go kidnap you, you know. But hey, and then you finish, and then they bring the bill 120,000. Yeah, and maybe in your eye, the way you look at it, you're used to mama put, you're used to regular food, and because the thing is on the road, you just think, okay, because your branch and at this small AC, maybe your calculation is 10-15K. Then I bring your B 125,000 naira. As sweet as those food, and believe that that's the best place to eat in Lagos today. As sweet as those food is, instantly you begin to lose the taste of the food. The food begin to be bitter. The food begin to lose its sweetness. All of those savory aroma that you enjoyed, you begin to lose it. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but this whole talk that I'm talking, I'm building up to something, right? It just going there like that, and everything that is beautiful just begin to lose its value. Have you ever gotten a visa to a country that you really want to go, and then somewhere along the line is a 1 month visa, and then from the moment you get the visa, your days are counting, and then you realize maybe it's a passport visa, it's a cable visa, wire visa, or visa on arrival, but you've already been locked in, and they tell you this is within 30 days, you must not stay over 30 days, and then your flight ticket is just not completing. Your flight ticket is not ticketing at all. It's not ticketing. You're gathering. Right? Maybe your ticket is supposed to be, let's say your ticket is 500,000. Let's just put a number to it. And you already have 250K. And then somebody who promised you 50K, as you're just going there, something just happened again to you. You just pay 75K out of your 200K. Now you're left with 125K. Even though that person gave you 150K, you're now left with 175K. And every day is counting, and then a day to the expiration of your visa, your 500,000 is complete. This is the visa in your hand. This is your money in your hand, but that holiday is not working. The holiday is just not holidaying. Money is the face of the conversation tonight on the Night Wheels. Like I like to say that I like the cool music that we use on the sick tune. Those of you on Instagram will not understand, but those of you on YouTube, you definitely would understand. Yeah, my producer. Thanks to my producer Ahmed Kalaja. He said, bros, let's not get to jiggy with it. You're not with Smith. Don't go and slap somebody on the stage. Just take it easy, take it slow and steady." And I was like, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm trying to copy music and sports. He said, "No, just do your thing." And I think I'm doing my thing, so I'm enjoying it. But let me read you this story, okay? A cheese hot dog being sold from £7 50 outside Manchester United, Old Trafford, has been blasted as pathetic, shameful on social media. The fast food item sent fans into a frenzy after a picture showed a plain hot dog. They don't even do. I be like, waiting my son Ronald cook join Indomie. Okay, sitting on a small pile of grated cheese inside an unroasted bun. Jesus Christ, man! Football fans are treated like slaves, and they are the reason why the game is beautiful. Okay, without the fans, we saw what happened during the COVID. He said, "Do not freeze hot dog infuriated fans further when discovering that it would set punters back by £7 50, and that's without chips as a side dish." Damn, then the picture is there. Picture is just there. I don't understand. How would I buy this bread with grated cheese? They just grate the cheese. It's not like they fried it, or the hot dog is just there. It just be like one stick of cigar just there like that. Well, that's what people deal with. Well, I'm going to go talk about money on the show today. But the first question, the center, the core of the question that I want to ask you guys today is, you know, since the majority of the conversation is around money, I want to ask you guys, what is the most expensive spend, the most expensive expense that you ever had to commit for sports? What's the most expensive money? Whether it's buying of tickets, whether it's buying of merchandise, whether it's ordering a sports book, or it could be sports training or trials. But what's the most expensive one-off payment you've had to make? I'm not talking of accumulated. It could be sports betting as well. What's the most expensive amount of money you have had to gamble away for betting? Because on the show tonight, we're going to talk about people who gamble. Yes, we're going to talk about somebody who gambled and he didn't shake. He was even laughing. He was laughing. Imagine gambling £900,000 away, losing it, and you're just smiling like, what's the big deal? And this show tonight would not have been possible. I know he likes me keeping him as my silent contributor, but you see the thing that I've learned. This thing that we normally do, humans do, where we wait for people to die and we write this long epistle about how good they are to us, how wonderful they are. The funny thing is that period when they die, their family members are not on social media. They are not there to hear it. And they never know if they ever did anything good for you. So I've always said, like in the song of Patoranku, celebrate people when they are alive. When they are there, people will do good for you. Because when people do us bad, we are very quick to tear them down and say, look at what this person did to me. So let's also say good to the people who did it. Just as if he was reading my mind. This morning I was doing my show and we ran out of internet. The whole internet, the whole modem of internet just went off. Like it just went off at the very end of the show. Some of you might not realize it, but the show didn't end the way it was supposed to end this morning. And I was just racking my head about, okay, what will happen? How am I going to get the evening show going? I still need to buy, gallons and gallons of fuel. The 15 gallons that I bought before I went to Abuja is gone. So I was just thinking about that. And this guy said, okay, Sammy, I'm going to, I mean, to be very, very honest, man, I was thinking maybe 5,000. And he sent me 36K worth of recharge card, MTN. And guess what? That is enough to power the show tonight, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, next tomorrow night, and going into next week. Okay, so thank you very much. One of our esteemed member of the Elegbete TV YouTube family, one believer of this project, is always telling me to look at AFTV, where they are coming from. That's enough reason for me not to quit. And he believes in this dream and he's supporting it with everything he's got. I'm talking about Hybrid 10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you, Roland, for what you do for us in this project here. That's the more reason why your name is on our header. We really, really are grateful to have you as one of our backers. Okay, so I'm asking, what's the most expensive spend you have had to make, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube? Talk to me about it. But let me give you some stories, some gist, and push it further so that you will know that tonight it's all about the Benjamins. Today we're going to talk about money, 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 money. Tomorrow we'll try our best to make prediction. I'm going to come back, but let me tell you guys one thing that I've made sports prediction now a lot more difficult. That is VAR. So before, when you do your research, you're doing your research based on strength of players, quality of play, momentum, what they have done, what they've not done, and all that. But right now with VAR, you can do all of those research. A goal will be scored that you think is a good goal. But my brother, my sisters, if there are sisters out there apart from Precious, you're my guy. No, Precious, you're not a babe now. You're doing what babes do now. So you're a babe. You used to be a guy, now you're a babe. So let's say my babe. You know, uh, you would look at yourself and say to yourself, what's going on? What's going on in the world? That because VAR changes the dynamics. Is it bad? No, it's not. But it's just like it's very good for sports betting companies because now they are enjoying it. Cristiano Ronaldo spent 8.8 million pounds to buy a super rare Bugatti Centodieci. Okay? That car, only 10 of it was made. Cristiano Ronaldo spent 10.8 million pounds to buy that car. I just went back to Madrid, and that was the car he took to go have lunch today. I know everybody who's listening to me is already converting it to Naira. Don't bother yourself. Don't burn your phone. Some things are not worth converting. It's not necessary. It's not important. If you convert it, so what? Will the money come to your account? Why bother yourself? Just have fun, enjoy yourself, and leave it. Don't forget that Eloquip also came out with all the players that are earning big. And Kevin De Bruyne earns £425,000 a week. That's what Marcus Rashford is looking to get. What's it called? The man Musala, he earns £373,750 per week. Erling Haaland earns officially £402,250 per week, but we all know that he earns more than that because there are some extras that is not recorded in the weekly. And you know the way Neymar's money was recorded back in the day. Okay, there is money that is official, and then there is the unofficial one. Okay, talking about Neymar. You know, Neymar blew £900,000 in an hour in an online casino section streamed live to 30,000 viewers on Twitch. I think I'm going to join Twitch. I think I'm going to go join Twitch. And the PhD star, who earns £3.2 million per month. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Obara, Jesus. Okay, then. It is what it is anyway. So let me not be jealous in anybody. Yeah, this is life. Nobody send me. Not the way it be. No need beefing anybody. Neymar, I ain't getting money. Me, I me get my own studio. One sitting, £900,000. That's almost £1,000,000. Convert it to naira if you want to. Convert it to dollar. Convert it to shillings, cedis, rupees, reals in Brazil. Um, Whatever you want to convert it to, that's your business. But it's Neymar, Neymar's money. So I'm asking you, how much have been your biggest spend in terms of sports because of your passion and your love for sports? How much have you spent? You look at it and like, Jesus Christ, did I just spend that money? Well, I will tell you my own towards the end of the show. But let me read this. Yomi T, a ticket to watch Shakhtar Donetsk against Chelsea in 2012 group stage, a year after Chelsea won the Champions League. I had to pay £370, $270 both for the ticket and bus to and fro because I was living in another city. Okay, 2 hours from Donetsk. Okay, so plus bus tickets, so to and fro, and match day tickets. But they beat Chelsea that day. Fernandinho 2 goals for Chelsea, one to make it 2 goals to 1. That is how he spent that money. That's Yomi T. Yomi T is in Port Harcourt. And if you're building a house, you're moving to a new house, you're redesigning your house, anything about interior, fitting, decor, that's the guy to go to. Search for him on Instagram. It's Yomi T, YOMIT triple E. Okay, Yomi T. Look for him on Instagram, and you will get to talk to him, and then it will tell you what it will cost. There is working on a budget. There is also somebody else, the guy who gave us this chair that we're using, Chooks Aswegu, who also does the same thing, furnitures for your house, your interior decor, and the rest of them. Is the guy to go to as well. So if you can't get to Yomi T, you definitely will be able to get to Chooks, who is a very regular and consistent person in the house. Now let's move on to other money matters. Like I said to you guys, it's all going to be about money. And thank you very much, Yomi T, for sharing your own experience. Well, that's big money. I mean, some people, if you send it down here, they'll be happy. Leeds United could look to review their interest in hiring Patrick Vieira as their manager this summer, with the Arsenal agent stock still high at Elland Road despite his sacking from Crystal Palace. So at the end of the season, Patrick Vieira might still get a job again. There are not too many black coaches on the job, but when there's a window and the opportunity for one to have a job, we celebrate it. We get excited about it because it is very, very important that some of them are getting this job and doing it well. Well, let's get past that and move into all the money matters. There's big money talk for Saturday, the fight between Anthony Joshua and that man Franklin. I just hope Franklin, it might be smaller, it might be shorter, and everybody, the British with their cocky, arrogant behavior. That's how they said about Alexander Usyk. Okay, and I was telling a friend earlier on that look, the second fight against Andrew Ruiz, Ruiz saw money that he's never seen before in his entire lifetime, and he went into a eating feast that he's never had before, and that probably is the reason why he lost that fight. If the same Ruiz that fought Anthony Joshua in the first round, knock him down, beat him, give him the beating that is never expected to be getting. If that guy kept in shape, forget about the money, just kept the money in the cooler, in savings. Well, how do you get that kind of money and save it anyway? It's not easy. It's easy to talk when you're broke, when you're poor, you don't have the money. But when you have that kind of money, come on, you want to oppress all the people that have been oppressing you in your life. And so he oppressed people, he also oppressed himself. He got too fat, he was beaten like a child who stole candy in a supermarket. Well, but after that, Alexander Usyk, who understood what it means to stay disciplined, who's been battling war, who's been battling the element, fighting against Ukraine and Russia, had Anthony Joshua for dinner the first time, and then he took him for a ride in the second fight for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some extra courses to the meal with some garnishing and all that. That's what happened. This time around, it's got Jermaine Franklin. Okay, it does look like the fight is set up for Anthony Joshua to win. And most times, this is how people think. Remember when everybody said Mike Tyson was going to beat was going to beat James Buster Douglas? Well, it didn't happen. James Buster Douglas had lost his mother 2 days to that fight, and he said his mother dreamed that he was going to win the fight, and he wasn't going to let his mother's dream go to waste. And he knocked down Mike Tyson. That just might happen. I don't know, but I just think that must happen. People say I don't like Anthony Joshua. I don't know whether it's about liking I'm just here to do my job. Not everybody will like the job that I do, just the same way not everybody like me. Well, for some Arsenal fans, let's bring some Arsenal news that is away from the money anyway. Arsenal have been dealt a major fitness blow with William Saliba set to miss Saturday's clash against Leeds United, where Rob Holding is expected to deputize once more as Mikel Arteta's side look to keep Manchester City at arm's length. But let's not forget that the last time that Rob Holdings was in charge, he held his own very well and he did a yeoman's job. I hope that he gets the job done as well this time around and keep Arsenal fans and Arsenal faithful excited. I mean, Leeds United could be a very tough side. Remember what they did to Chelsea at the early part of the season. You don't want that happening to Arsenal. But then football is football. Anything can happen. So what? So what? Anything can happen. That's what they say the Fugees told us. So we'll always keep our minds prepared and ready for that one. But let me give you some tidbits, some information about money and sports and all that. And you've been wondering where's all this number come from. Okay. So let me give you some stories about some sportsmen and their gambling habits in the history of sports. So let me give you this one. Professional athletes make big bucks, big money, but they don't necessarily all spend their money wisely. While some make very good investment with their hard-earned money, others just blow it away with large bets. Okay, we're talking some serious money here, from tens of thousands to six figures to even millions of dollars. And the ugly truth is, it's not just a select few athletes that do this. There is plenty of big time sports names that have been beaten by the gambling ball. Okay. When Ronnie is one that comes to mind. Paul Gascoigne is another one that comes to mind. What's it called? Paul Mason is another one that comes to mind. And you can push it on and on and on and on. Some are still living in denial, doing it in secret. But let's push it. Even the money man himself, Floyd Mayweather, is a gambler par excellence, but he does win more than he loses anyway. But there's no gambler that doesn't lose. So sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Let's push it a step further and say it the way it is on this side. Okay. And the ugly truth is, it's not just a select few athletes that do this. There is plenty of big time sports names that have been beaten by the gambling bug. Okay. It's your favorite athletes on the list. Just follow me as I take you on this journey. Rick Touchett is on my number 25 list. Okay, I'm giving you 25 names. Some of you might not know them because I know that majority of my audience are football inclined. But then, if you want to do justice to a story, you must research other sports so that your research is complete. Okay, the former right winger pleaded guilty as being a part of a multi-million-dollar gambling ring. Okay, he was sentenced to 2 years probation and avoided any jail time. Toshet played the role of a financial backer, covering lost bets while taking a share of the profit. So he is more of an insurance man in sports betting. But then it's a crime when you are in active sports. Okay, number 24 is Lamont Jordan. Okay, it's an NFL player in case you don't know who that is. Lamont Jordan was sued by the Mirage. If you don't know what the Mirage is, then start searching for Las Vegas. Your next holiday should be for Las Vegas. If you've also watched Ocean's 11, you should know what the Mirage is. For owing them $20,000 in 2009, despite his big-time NFL earning as a running back, Jordan still found himself in trouble with the law. They claim that he wrote them a dud check. The check bounced, and that means he's going to face the law, and he will eventually face it. Terence Kiel, okay, is another one who is an NFL player. Remember number 48? Yeah, Kiel's gambling problem had gotten so bad that he resorted to smuggling codeine-based cough syrup from a San Diego pharmacy to Texas in order to supplement his income. That is how bad it is. He's lost all his money. He started, when they are going for a away match, he carries his kit bag, put codeine inside, and then transport it to another carrier another receiver who will receive it on the other side. So the team is traveling. Everybody think, okay, we're just traveling, we're just having fun. But this man is doing some shady deals. Like I said the other day on my show, I said the drug ring in Lagos, I mean focus on Lagos, is the route is being run by the dispatch riders. You see all these dispatch riders, they are the drug runners. I'm not sure all of them know what they are carrying, but most of the drugs that are running on the streets of Lagos are being carried by the dispatch riders. So if the police want to do a good job, should have some checkpoint for dispatch riders and sniffing dogs that would sniff them. You will see how many dispatch riders that will go to jail, once they start doing that. I can take that, you can take that to the bank and bank on it completely. It will work. So we're still talking about money, those who making it, those who wasting it, those who spending it wisely. Well, we're just talking about those who are wasting it right now. That is what he did. He was arrested by San Diego authorities after packages of the codeine were intercepted in the mail. It was discovered that Care owed tens of thousands of dollars to San Diego area casinos. Okay, casino is beautiful to go. There's beautiful lights. There's beautiful women. That's where you see the lady on red, lady on high heels, stilettos, and short dresses, and boobs that looks like they are standing attention and giving you military salute. But then the temptation that comes in is not something to joke about. Okay, many of us remember the arenas was suspended by the league for gambling. Gilbert Arenas is my number 22 man, drawing a gun on a teammate, Javaris Crittenton. But the details that led up to the incident have been somewhat sketchy. Apparently, Arenas had owed money to one of his teammates and refused to pay up your debts. Yeah, it's easy to go collect money, but when it's time to pay, you start having problems. An argument then erupted and suddenly escalated into wild words like gunslinging face-off. Okay, and that's it. Let's push it further and still keep on talking about people spending money that they don't have because of gambling. And the funny thing about the game and gambling is the fact that you know that these guys are making big money, but somewhere along the line, the money just disappears. So let's bring in a footballer in this one. And my number 17 is Stanley Bowers. Okay, Stanley Bowers, he was an intense soccer player for England during his prime, but he was as reckless off the field as he was on the field. Stan admits that he spent most of his earnings by gambling on virtually anything. He would gamble at anything. Remember, a man by the name of Evander Holyfield. Once upon a time, he had a property that four aeroplanes could run off and take off on at the same time. But then there was a time he was homeless, gambled too much, and gambling became a problem for him. Wow. Well, let's look at a basketball player. Antoine Walker is on my number 16. If you know basketball very well, you know that this man wore the green jersey of the Boston Celtic. Only a few years removed from winning an NBA title with the Miami Heat, Walker is now out of luck. A warrant was issued to his arrest in 2009 for accumulating $822,500 in gambling debt. Are you kidding me? You know what that money will do for me? It will build me a studio, build me a game arcade, build me a mini sports center. Yes, $822,000, $22,500. That will build me that, and then give me a posh apartment with a penthouse that is surrounded with glass that you can see from inside to outside, but you can't see from outside to inside. The colorful lights that makes it a very beautiful place for me to shoot my content when I want to shoot it. That's my room, my bed, my office, and my bedroom in one penthouse. But hey, somebody gambled it away. Why am I spending another person's money when I have hard work to do? Where it is life, such is life, or as a job people will say, such is life, my brother. So job people talk up. Yes, he was accused of owing that money. He had been accused of writing bad check to at least three different casinos. Now Walker is trying to get the league for one more big payday. Let's hope he does get to pay. Now there is one man that you all know. This man is so popular. If you say you don't know him, then I don't know what you know. This is the guy that turned UFC around anyway. This is the guy that took. I will call him a marketing genius, okay? For whatever debt is owing, for whatever issue he's got. But this man, he is a boxing aficionado, he's a fight aficionado, he's a guy who understands. He's also the guy who invented this slap thing that is trending where people are slapping each other. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It didn't just come from Coven. Some people will watch it and say it's demonic act. No, that's a sport that people are. He's sampling it. He's getting people to do what you call TikTok challenge on it and social media challenge on it. Eventually, they will pick up some people and then they'll be paying big money to see grown-up men or probably grown-up women slap the taste out of some people's faces and their mouth. Well, it is life. His name is Dana White. True or not, there was an internet rumor floating around that White, the UFC president, owed the Bellagio $1 million from gambling debts. Though White denied it, there is plenty of people in Vegas that are aware of the gambling habit and fondness for playing cards. So it might be true, it might be wrong, but his name is on the list on my number 15 position. I'm jumping from some people because I just assume that some of you guys don't know. But this guy called Phil Mickelson, if you say you don't know him, then you don't know golf. Okay? You must know Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson, as humbly looking, as nicely looking as he is on the golf fairway, that's where it ends. When it comes to gambling, he's not a nice guy, right? According to rumor, Lefty, that's what his nickname is because it's a pugilist. It's a southpaw. Sorry, it's not pugilist. It's a southpaw. Okay, it's got a left hand. It's a lefty, and a lot of people say that has quite of a gambling streak. He allegedly lost $200,000 to fellow golfer after he requested that a $1 golf game be upped in stakes. How can we be playing a game betting $1 and then the village people in your village just snag this place off your back head and say take it to 200,000, take it to 200,000, take it to 200,000. They say it 3 times. Like Bamiji will say on the sports lounge, if you call us a finger 3 times, it will appear. And then Inaki said 3 times, I say up it to 200,000. And then he whipped it in and he missed and he lose 200,000. Wow. Just wow. That's all I'll say. You know what that money would do for me in my studio? Well, if since I'm talking about golf, why not just talk about the symbol of golf? You think Tiger Woods is all that rich and it's not gambling? Whose side? The part habit of rich people is gambling. There's a level you get money to, you start gambling. And then when you're a black man, combine blackness and money and fame together. Two things always go with them: money and women. Think about it carefully. You can do your research. So Tiger Woods, at the same time that news of Tiger Woods' adultery and laundry list of mistresses broke out, there were also allegations of his gambling habit during his many visits to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is actually Sin City, okay? You go there, you get something, okay? And they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Now lie you. Kevin Hart have come out to tell us that what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas. He learned that lesson the hard way. Okay, Tiger Woods would rendezvous with one of his many ladies and stay at one of the high-stake blackjack tables where he was said to have bet $250,000 per hand. Okay, if you understand betting, I do. If you understand blackjack, one hand, that's one round of game. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is my next guy. You don't know Isaiah Thomas? I can't help you, but I pray you know him. Okay, Isaiah Thomas, he is believed to be a high stakes crap player back in the 1990s. Thomas was said to have been the target of an FBI investigation for running big money craps games out of the Florida home. Thomas denied the allegation though, but the investigation never disappeared. Okay, they always talk about him. Let's look for somebody else that I love the most. I think it's my all-time favorite basketball player. Now, he's not the all-time greatest basketball player, but this guy made me love basketball. Just the same way R. Kelly made me love R&B, and the way Michael Jackson made me love pop music, and the way T.D. Jakes made me love preachers, even though I don't go to church. But there are just some people who make you love the game. And you know how to say, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? I'm not hating this player, and I'm also not hating the game. I'm loving the game, and I'm loving the player. This guy is the man, as far as I'm concerned. And then there is Kobe Bryant, there is Michael Jordan, there is LeBron James, there is Steph Curry, who I think is a freak of nature. I don't think Steph Curry is a normal human being. I think he's got a chip. He's an AI that is pretending to be human. Steph Curry does things that no normal human being can do. So I'm not even thinking that Steph Curry is a human. I'm not going to deceive myself. I disagree. I refuse to accept that Steph Curry was carried by a pregnant woman and was born. He's practically the real life basketball Captain America. He was created from a machine. Steph Curry is not a normal human being. If you disagree with me, give me fact and proof that he's a normal human being. Well, the person I'm talking about who also fall into the gambling trap is my man. I think you guys can get. Let me leave you guys to guess about this guy. So he wears number 3 as a basketball player. He's got the best crossover, the best dribbles I've ever seen on the floor. This guy is small, but that's all there is about being small because he can do just about anything. Took on anybody on the floor. He's fearless. Sometimes when you look at him, you think you're seeing the musician Chris Brown, right? There's absolutely nothing he cannot do. When they say what God cannot do does not exist, you could also say this guy, what he cannot do on the floor does not exist. And Onyeneye obviously have my thinking in his head. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is Jesus Christ. He's the guy who made me love basketball. Now Michael Jordan, forget about leave Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan owns too much. So I do. And I was like, Michael Jordan is like Optimus Prime. So strong. I don't even like him that much. Anyway, but he's the greatest of all time. But then this guy just make basketball. It's sick, it's smooth, it's rugged at the same time. It's both the good boy, the bad boy, and everything all put in one. So I don't have a say. But let's talk about his gambling habits a bit. A season ago, before now, Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN guy, the highest earning sports journalist in the whole world. $13.5 million every year. That what goes into his account. All them Gary Neville talking rubbish and Sky Sports don't even get 50% of what the guy gets. Okay, so the brother is earned the right to talk rubbish. If he goes on air and talk rubbish, you have no right to judge him. You listen. Because if somebody agrees to pay me $13.5 million and I talk rubbish and you come and try to throw me, your father. As Moses Praise will say it, yalaya anybody who dare to talk rubbish. Okay. Yes, it's Allen Iverson. Reported that Iverson had been facing some personal problems such as alcohol abuse related to pending divorce. But Smith also noted that Iverson was struggling with gambling issues. Smith, in his Philadelphia Inquiry column, wrote that Iverson will either drink himself into oblivion or gamble his life away. And on both occasions, he didn't. Then let's talk about this guy who celebrated like he was a boxer. I hope you guys can guess who this is. This guy scored a goal that is voted the best goal ever in the Premier League. Now, I disagree with that goal. Nobody's going to convince me that that goal against Manchester City is the best goal in the Premier League. The people, the jury that voted that goal just wanted to make sure it's an English player, and there are no other English players that have scored that kind of goal. I would even say that the goal that the Beckham scored from halfway downtown in the field against Wimbledon, for me, was a better goal. At the time he scored it, nobody's ever done that. Was a better goal than that bicycle kick. But hey, they say that was the best goal. How about the goal that Thierry Henry, the audacious, incredible back to goal lob that Thierry Henry did against his own national team teammate Fabian Barthez from Manchester United? How about that? How about the cheeky back heel that Thierry Henry did against Charlton Athletic? How about DJ Drogba putting the ball to his chest with back to the goal and doing 180 degrees and then hitting the ball into the Everton net with Howard in goal? I mean, there are a lot of goals. How about Matt Letizia hitting a volley from 50 yards into the net? Come on, there's so many goals. But then let's not talk about the goals that were scored. It's a show that talks about people wasting money. In 2006, when the Maverick crazy man, yes, youngest man to have a bad head, Benjamin Button head, as he was growing older, he started having afro. It's very crazy anyway. When Ronnie was believed to have amassed £700,000 in debt to a bookie after betting on dogs, horses, and soccer games. Why would you not bet on horse when your coach, Sir Alex Ferguson, is a horse freak? Okay, and you want to please him, you obviously are going to do that. But his gambling streak didn't end there. In 2008, there was report out of a casino in Manchester that he had lost £65,000 in 2 hours. Wow. Wow. Listening to these things and hearing them from a Nigerian perspective, you're already converting it to Naira and knowing what you will do with it. But I'm going to tell you this for free. Some of you will have the kind of money that they have, and you will shut down Club DNA, you will shut down Quilos, and you will shut down Cubana bar. That's just the truth of the matter. So don't pretend like, oh, if now you get that money, you will do better. And let's talk about Michael Jordan. I mean, what is there not to talk about him? Michael Jordan, the guy who walk on air, the guy who can do the impossible. Okay, there are plenty of Michael Jordan gambling stories floating around, and many in the world of sports know that in his earnest loves to make wagers a lot. During his playing days, he was spotted at the high roller table at Atlantic City the night before games. It got so bad that the NBA had to launch an investigation on his habit. Some believe that his first retirement was actually a gambling ban. Heck, even his kids are said to have the Vegas bug after they were spotted tweeting that they spent $56,000 during a weekend in Sin City. God have mercy. How would you how would you think about that one for a minute, right? That somebody made so much money and this is what he does with the money. Charles Barkley, Charles Barkley, it was in that Bugs Bunny movie with Michael Jordan and the rest. Okay, it was there as well. It was one of those athletes who got his talent taken from him. Well, Sir Charles, as he's popularly called, is a high stakes gambler and denies he has a problem. Barkley went to on the record in 2006 to say that his love for gambling has cost him $10 million. $10 million is what this brother have lost to gambling. However, according to Charles, he doesn't consider a problem because he can afford to lose the money. Yeah, you can afford to lose $10 million. Okay, this is where I draw the curtain on that talk. I can't be talking about this. I can't be talking about people who think that it is okay to lose $10 million and it's not a big deal. Let me give you three notable names in sports that you would like. This one is not gambling. Three notable names of sports people who are sports people and then they are doctors. First off, to play football, he had. I'm an engineer come footballer. I know how hard it was to combine those two. But for the love of a state governor, I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to pursue those two combined. Now, somebody is a doctor. First off, it takes you 5 years to become a doctor, right? And to do all those housemanship and everything and still play football. How do they combine it? So let me mention three names. I'm not going to take you too far on that one. And let me give you this read so that you understand where I'm coming from. Footballers are not only some of the most skillful and gifted athletes in the world, but some of the smartest and brightest minds you can find anywhere. After retirement, some ex-players engage in various activities and professions widely ranging from law practice, journalism, sports administration, or even politics. Okay, it is not too common to find many soccer players who are doctors, but today we will be profiling a few prominent examples. Okay, this brief list will include soccer players who are or who were doctors while or after playing soccer professionally. Then think about it for a minute. How do you combine waking up through that rudimentary life of playing football and still getting the time to read books, study, do research, do everything to become a doctor? It's not easy. I'm not saying that any other course in school is easy, but medical practice, man, it's like law. You read till you die. Kenny Dutcher is a 42-year-old retired footballer who played most of his professional career in his native land, Scotland. Dutcher was a striker during his playing days, featuring for teams like Falkirk, St Johnstone, Livingston, and Gretna, to mention a few. At Gretna, he enjoyed his most prolific spell, scoring 63 goals in 93 league games. He was the Haaland of that club. 93 league appearances. He also played briefly in America for Major League Soccer sides Real Salt Lake in 2008. Apart from football, he also holds the special distinction of being a practicing medical doctor. Kenny is a general medical practitioner in his native land, Scotland, and is also married with children. How did he do it? I don't know. In 2011, Dutcher retired from the game as he planned to gain the final qualification he needed to become a doctor. Like many soccer players who own restaurants, Kenny Dutcher runs two restaurants, the Wheelhouse, just where I got the name of this show from, the Night Wheels. Okay, the Wheelhouse restaurant in Falkirk and the Boathouse restaurant in Kilset. Okay, now we have this beautiful girl that played for Paris Saint-Germain, one of the most beautiful Arab lady you would ever come across, Nadia Nadim. Okay, if you look for Nadia Nadim online, you will see a beautiful face. She have an amazing story that you should read about, the story of Nadia Nadim. One day, maybe I would have that story on the show, but time is not on our side, so I will not be able to expatiate on that story that much. And for those of you who put in a comment, I will read your comment, don't worry. Nadia Nadim is an Afghan born a female football player. Nadia is a female professional football player who represent the Danish female national team. How she get to become a Danish national female team is a story you need to go look for. The 34-year-old striker has played 99 times for Denmark with 38 goals to her name. She has featured for a plethora of club side both in her home country Denmark and overseas. However, she currently plays as a striker for National Women's Soccer League club Racing Louisville FC. Okay, Nadim has been on the books of IK Skovbakken, Fortuna Hotdog, Portland Thomas FC, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain, among many other clubs. She has also won various league titles playing in America, France, and England. Nadia is also one of the few footballers in the world who is also a qualified doctor. She attended medical school on campus and remotely at Aarhus University based in Denmark. In 2020, she was qualified enough to assist in surgeries before obtaining a final medical certification in January of this year. Whoa. Now let me give you this guy. Some of you will know him as a football player who was always wearing a headband and who had beards all over his face with his running hair. He's a Brazilian that have a name that has stuck in the minds and hearts of people. Socrates, okay? It's a great midfielder who played great football while he was alive, okay? The late great Brazilian midfielder was one of the best and most iconic player of his generation. Yeah, he may not win the World Cup, but this guy really did something very well. Socrates featured for Brazil national team between 1979 and Mexico 86. 22 goals in 60 appearances. He captained the exciting Brazilian team that featured in the 1982 World Cup in Spain. He was admired for his skills and technical ability as well as his cool fashion, look, and hairstyle. Socrates played and managed mostly in his native Brazil. Socrates is also famous for being a qualified physician. Okay, he obtained his medical degree while still playing professionally at the medical school of the University of Sao Paulo. Right, so that is a great one. And we see footballers. Don't let anybody say all these illiterate people that does not know anything. I don't think it's a nice word to use. Okay, in fact, because of his medical degree and his intelligent style of play, he was giving him the nickname Dr. Socrates while he was playing. After retirement, he would practice medicine in Ribeirão Preto until his death in 2011. Now let me go home and read all the messages that I've got on the YouTube channel. I mean, today I said I was going to talk about money, 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 money until mama calls, right? So let's go down. I asked the question, what's the most expensive spend, biggest money you have ever spent because of sports or football or whatever it is? Ufuma Idijala said us on the conversation, said it to Ronnie. He says, see description, I beg, no make me hungry like this. Nah, I'm sorry about that one. And I pretend the man who, for his kindness and his big heart, his large heart, will have a show running tonight. He said, I did yo, always saying that. Demola Ibrahim Abiodun, all the way from Ikorodu. He said, good evening, boss. Good morning, good evening to you. Me, now, Now both I buy 15K. Uh, I never to spend money on sports. Olatunji Emmanuel, he said, do you think a time would come where sports betting as a full-time job will be rampant? I know it is, but it's not so rampant. I think it's already rampant, too, but would it become a full-time job? You have to be God to be able to call betting a full-time job, because they're not guarantees. They are not guarantees. Even with all the predictions, I've got formulas for betting. I mean, when I started this business and I didn't have any money anywhere, nobody was supporting. Now you have people supporting me because they believe in the dream. All the time, nobody was supporting me. Everything that was coming, that was just to buy equipment, buy microphone, keep the office going, was coming from sports betting. But even at that, I always say myself that I would never get addicted to sports betting, because it doesn't have a feel. The way I hear people get addicted to gambling is always surprising to me. It doesn't have a feel that can make you get addicted to it. It's not exciting. You don't win every day, and there's nothing guaranteed. So why would I get addicted to it? I always tell my wife that I'm amazed that people get addicted to sports betting, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do it. It's just one of those things that you cannot explain. No matter how you try to explain it, it just doesn't make sense in terms of the explanation. So you just kind of like, okay, oh, Nadem Sabio, there's nothing I can do. Okay, you know that kind of feeling. But hey, let's push it further than my answer to you on that one is no. It's rampant already, but I don't think it can become uh a like you know, a full-time job. Unless for those people who are the shop owners who run the business. But for those who are punters, I don't think it can be a full-time job. Everybody knows that it's just a side hustle. You bet on luck. You can't do a full-time job on something that you're betting on luck. 69 football says going to Abuja from Lagos to see Nigeria play Ghana and will fail to qualify for the World Cup. Okay, spent over 100K for flight and hotel and left heartbroken. Sorry about that. The memory is sweet, but the pain still hurts. Okay, I think for me, the biggest spend I've spent for sports was when I went to uh, Dubai to do the Koshayere video. And I've spent quite a lot, man, going to school, going to ISB, $12,000, 12,000 euros at the time was big, doing a whole lot of other things. But that's not a one off thing. It's not like you just pay once. But going to Dubai, to do that video. The what hurts the most is the fact that we didn't even get up to 1,000 views on that video. Like the money we spent, the time, the whole pain that we went through. At the time when we didn't have money, I could jolly well have bought a car with that money. Like I still look at the video. Sometimes I go back and I watch the video and I say, "What did we do wrong with this video? What? Like I can't even figure anything we did wrong with that video." And 5.85 million 860,000. I have all the receipts. That's what we spent. And we didn't get up to 1,000 views on it. Ah, Jesus. It was a time I was like, you know what? God does not want me to do this job. This YouTube thing is not it. Let me just quit now. Let me quit now while I'm still alive. Because I almost got depressed. But hey, life is life. Every time he say, I don't know, say morning show ended abruptly. He did. I didn't watch it. Had to stay awake for morning show. I understand. And this is a love of my it's a respect every time you for add yeah you for include money spent on other things the only sports no not only sports at 11 years I spent 900 naira in the early 90s to buy canvas for sports in 1988. I still remember very well. It's the only time I stole money from my mom. That's the one and only time I stole my mother's money. I stole my mother's three naira to buy complete football magazine. 1988 May. See, my mother knew. That's how I know my mom. My mom got witchcraft. Like I just knew that my mom had witchcraft. My mom knew instantly once she saw the magazine. She knew I stole her money. She just looked at me reading that magazine and she said, "I'm on our treasury." That's what she said. This boy, you don't thief. Nobody, if they dash person new magazine like this, you thief this money. She went inside and said she at 3 naira they miss the beats. Like, when they go beat you, you confess instantly, say yes, you thief the money. Like there was no, you don't get the heart to even deny her. It's not the most expensive spend. but it's the only time I've been beaten crazily. After admitting, that's when the real beating has started. The real beating. So my mom, first, she beats me to admit that I thief the money. And she made me also to admit that not be the beating make me admit to true I thief the money. She now locked the door. She now locked the door. I was inside. She now went outside to tell everybody, say, I don't the thief. So make anybody not come back. Oh, she won't beat the spirit of thief come off my body. Say this one I'm that they pray for. They don't need pastor. They don't need Jesus. Make Jesus go with. My mom beat me, carried me, that made me promise her that I would never steal again in my life. And I gave my life to my mom. I've never given my life to Christ. I gave my life to my mom. If Christ want my life, go and take it from my mother. That day, 1988, I gave my life to my mom. I was 11 years old. I handed over my life to my mom. At last, I said, Mama, if I thief again, kill me. Cut my head, come out. Kill me. So when I say give your life to Christ, I know I'd already given it to somebody else. Christ, if you need the life, you know where to go and take it. But it's not in my hand anymore. My life is in your hand. It's in my mother's hand. That's how my life was given to my mom. As an 10 years going to 11. I wasn't even 11. I just turned 10 in December, and this was May, and it was crazy anyway. But my addiction for sports papers never ended. I found a way, started working, started making money on my own, and I had to take permission from my mom that I want to spend the money that I work to buy a magazine over the weekend. It wasn't easy, but it was fun. But that beating, Jesus Christ, that beating, the first time that they were beating me, no neighbor came to say, he don't do only esoteric. Beat am well. Beat am. Now this kind of thing. That's so go call one name. That's so many go do. They don't touch am. I make am become rubber. That's so Anini do. No, 1986. Anini was the thing. So this is 88, 86. Oh, that's so Sumba do. Everybody had a story. Like to support that they should kill me, Sha. What doesn't kill you only make you stronger. Go push how they go. That thing Neymar do surprise me. I almost shout. Okay. This Mama say, I start to the reason Jesus. When you are rich, you are rich. Born 900k in one sitting and nothing to show. Okay, and the Ruiz, Joshua Sharp has really had damaging defeat. Okay, Eze Patrick say, as for gambling, I quit just a year ago. Honestly, thank God I was not addicted, but I was close to it. What did they addict to now? Now, not get money. You get money. Poor person is addicted to gambling. You get money. Where we go? You get money. Anyone say they're addicted. We're not gonna do thank God. We're not gonna give testimony for church when it don't make sense. You thank God I was not addicted. You get money. It's a Patrick Shifty, but I like when you always comment. He said, has to be football boot jerseys and traveling for State FA Cup and tournaments. Back then, before the knee and ankle injuries came in. Okay, can't estimate the exact amount, but it's a lot. Okay, DJ Lavama says, where did it start now? Where's that? Why is that thing showing there? What are you doing there? Okay. Let me see what now. I just must say Giroud, Thierry Henry, Dennis Beckham, so many great goals, right? Yes, so I think a lot of my wanted to say now, wow, gambling addiction can wreck one. Oh. Now, when you get money, you go know your true character. As a Patrick, you say, being rich brings out some hidden traits in the human being. Yes, that's an you can say the food when they cook for us, not the sweet. All those food where you enjoy since I don't like all this kind of food. Radisson Blue buffet, now be the sweetest one. One restaurant in Paris, now their food now the sweet pass. Ice cream, gelato for Italy is the best. That Jamaican restaurant in New York for Fifth Avenue, yeah, that's the best place to go and shop. That's how you gotta know all those. You gotta know the distance where private jets they take between Nigeria and Europe. You're going to say, okay, there's a private jet that can go for 4 hours instead of the normal 6 or 8 hours. You're going to know all those kind of things. That's what money does for you. Lord Mayor, I say my most expensive now betting where Swansea 4, Liverpool 3. Quarter. I bet 50k for 4 odds. Useless Liverpool lose. Betting people need to forget this kind of thing. Say Patrick, you say, at Lord Mayor, now I see why you don't like Liverpool. Okay. Lord Mayor now replies, say Patrick, you say, I know if you forget that match. Okay. Say Patrick, say, we all have our stories with sports betting. Lord Mayor, he said the last beating my dad beat me, I no fit forget that day. Okay, he say make I know they go game center again, so he come catch me there. Our parents invest for that thing, and so I no fit tell you what. Meanwhile, I born you, I no fit tell you what. Hey God, you die finish. He used nepa wire peel my skin. That was the last day I reached there. So you wait when they beat you first. Okay, as the Patrick say, Anini highest rate was about 46k when money get value. As the Patrick say, I not get money, I make I manage my small money. All right. Well, it's been fun reading all these messages. It's time to pack my bags and baggages and go. Yes, the money say Adebende is bigger than Anini. You know where? The biggest arm robber in this country, as far as this country is concerned, is Anini. I don't care what Adebende or Shinorambo, all those ones, they are upcoming. But currently, the biggest robbers are the politicians. Oh boy, those politicians. Those politicians, they rob. They know the robbers, they massage us. They might not use rob. Rob na local, they massage us. Now machine they massage us. Well, this is why I draw the content on the show tonight. Thank you very much. It's fun. I like the fun that I get doing the evening show because I just come here tell stories. Unlike in the morning where it has some serious news stories and the rest. I just tell some stories or share some stories and come. But tomorrow evening, bring your games. Those of you who like to do sports betting, not people like Eze Patrick. Let's look into it. Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord of bets. Yeah, and I'll give you my opinion. If you win, thank the Lord. If you don't win, it's under your console, and you know. This is where I draw the content on the show. My name is Indafi Matches. You love to come here with on sports. The night wheel for Thursday is done and dusted. Money. It's the money show today. Have a wonderful night rest.